Didn't take long for drivers to pick up the phone last night after the Macomb County executive advised calling 911 if they hit a dangerous pothole.
So now all those operators are hearing the calls, and they're trying to sort out through the confusion about when people are supposed to call. 7 Action News reporter Anu Prakash joins us live with the update, and I'm guessing, judging from what we heard, Anu, there would be a lot of calls.
Yeah, you would think there would be, but actually we did check in with the Macomb County Dispatch Center, and they tell us so far they've received about 20 or so since late yesterday afternoon. We got a hold of some of those calls, so you could take a listen.
911.
Is this where you call about the potholes?
Yes, ma'am. Where is your pothole emergency?
Waybridge Grove Spec.
I will pass that information along to the Department of Roads. Thank you.
That's one of the 911 calls that came into Macomb County Dispatch since Mark Hackle made his pothole promise. The Macomb County executive says drivers in his county should call 911 to report damage-causing potholes, and road crews will be out within an hour to assess and address them.
911, where's your emergency?
Potholes, 15 Mile Road and Utica Road. It's on 15 Mile Road in front of McDonald's. There's several large ones.
Drivers we talked to seem split on what warrants a call to 911.
In those cases where you know that it could really damage you, yourself, or someone else, definitely I would call 911.
I think if it was bad enough that I needed to report it to my insurance company, I probably would call 911 and ask for a police report.
Everybody's going to be calling 911. What if somebody really has an emergency going on? They need to get through.
But Hackle says if it is a damage-causing pothole, it is an emergency.
911, where's your emergency?
Hackle wants people to call 911 over...
Sir. Hey, sir.
Sir? Actually, there's a whole bunch of them, real deep ones, on the right turn lane from eastbound M59 onto southbound Gratiot. It's only at least half a dozen of them that are at least a foot deep.
Yeah, you heard that last caller there saying that there were at least half a dozen in that area, at least a foot deep. We wanted to find out if any of those 911 calls that came in actually reported any damage caused by potholes. We were told that so far none of those kinds of reports came in. But again, the Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle stressing that damage causing potholes, those are the times that you should call 911. The smaller stuff, the stuff that just might be irritating, that's when you just call the Road Commission. Reporting live in Warren tonight, Anu Prakash, 7 Action News. Carolyn and Stephen, back to you.
Anu, where does the controversy stand tonight? I know Mark Hackle yesterday was saying call 911, but the Road Commission said no, don't do that. So who has the final word?
Well, Carolyn, actually it was Michigan State Police that came out and said, you know what, for potholes, go ahead and call the Road Commission. But we have since learned that when MSP made that statement, they did not know that Mark Hackle had put out this pothole promise. So since then, it has all been sorted out, and they say, MSP says, you know what, Macomb County, they can do what they want. They're fine with that, but they believe that 911 is not the most effective and efficient way to do it. But again, if you're in Macomb County, the man in charge says call 911 if it is a damage-causing pothole.
All right, we'll see how this turns out. Anu, thank you for the update on that. And we figured people will start calling it, and we'll find out how it goes over time.